Hey there, lovely souls. Welcome to my channel, Magnetize Official. Here, we dive deep into the mysteries of life, love, and spirituality. Join me as we explore divine feminine energy, soul connection, and the art of manifestation through intuitive tarot and oracle readings. Each session is a journey of self-discovery and spiritual alignment designed to empower you on your own unique path. Remember, the messages you receive resonate with your heart and soul. If you are ready to connect more deeply with your spiritual purpose, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your energy with this community. Let us raise our vibrations together. This reading is going to be a little different from the others, and I feel called to share it in a more intuitive and exploratory way. The message I received was strikingly clear. Someone manifested you in a very powerful way, but they weren't ready for you. There's a depth to this message that feels profound, though I'm not entirely sure yet how it applies to the person or situation this reading is meant for. As always, I encourage you to take only what resonates with your soul and intuition. I channel for a wide range of people, energies, and circumstances, so not every reading will connect with everyone. We're all on different waves, timelines, and journeys, and that's the beauty of our unique paths. To begin, I'll start shuffling the decks, letting the energy flow freely as we uncover the layers of this message together. As I tune in, the word afraid keeps coming through strongly. It feels as though someone worked intentionally, or even unconsciously, to manifest you into their life. They may have visualized, hoped, prayed, or energetically aligned with the idea of someone like you, and their efforts were successful. But then, something shifted. Fear entered the picture. It's as if when faced with the reality of your presence, something within them became overwhelmed or intimidated. They wanted you so deeply, but they weren't prepared for the energy, growth, or transformation that your connection might demand of them. Let's explore this further. Together, we'll unravel the story, uncover the emotions and energies at play, and see what insights Spirit has for us. Stay with me as we dive into this reading. You might just discover a message meant for your heart today. To whoever this message is for, I want to begin by saying that when I mention this person manifesting you, it may not have been a conscious decision. It feels more like an act of the soul, something rooted in a deeper spiritual desire. This is someone who has longed, whether knowingly or unknowingly, for someone like you in their life. But as I tune into their energy, I sense a profound struggle within them, one that begins with how they see themselves. This person is deeply judgmental of themselves, and this inner judgment manifests outwardly as hyper-achievement. It's as though they are constantly running, striving, and pushing to meet an invisible standard they've set for themselves, one that may have been shaped by societal expectations, family pressures, or their own internalized fears. This hyper-focus on achievement consumes them. They care immensely about how others perceive them, whether it's their physical appearance, their financial status, or their professional success. Their life may seem meticulously polished, almost enviable to an outside observer. They could be someone who appears confident and put together, someone who seems to have it all. Perhaps they are physically attractive, hold a position of influence, or are steadily climbing the ladder of success. Yet, beneath this seemingly perfect exterior lies an aching loneliness. This person feels isolated within the very life they've built. The achievements, the accolades, and the attention, none of it truly satisfies them. There's a coldness surrounding what they are pursuing, like an emptiness that success alone cannot fill. They've built walls around themselves so high and so thick that even they can't break through them. These walls are their shield, protecting them from the judgment of others, but also keeping them disconnected from their own emotions. Deep down, they are battling inner demons, doubts, fears, and insecurities, but they are unlikely to ever voice these struggles out loud. This person is carrying a weight that you might not have been able to see at first glance. They've mastered the art of appearing composed, even thriving, but their soul is yearning for something real, something authentic, something that connects to the heart. And that's where your energy comes in. You represent the kind of connection that could offer them the warmth and depth they lack, but also the kind that forces them to confront the parts of themselves they've avoided for so long. Their spiritual journey is intertwined with yours in some way, and although they may not be ready for it yet, your presence has already started to awaken something within them, something they cannot ignore. I'm hearing the phrase, "You got too close." This is a very specific message, and it feels urgent, something someone's spirit guides are strongly pushing me to share. It seems like there's a lot of confusion surrounding this situation, and this message is here to help bring clarity. Keep in mind, as always, this will only resonate with a specific group of people, so take it only if it feels aligned with your heart and intuition. Here's what I'm picking up. This person, who, for many of you, carries a masculine energy, manifested you. Now, I want to pause here to say that while I am seeing a divine masculine and divine feminine dynamic, this doesn't necessarily have to be about an external relationship. It could also reflect the interplay of your own inner masculine and feminine energies. For most of you, though, I feel you are a divine feminine, and the person in question embodies the divine masculine energy. And let me just say, your energy is incredibly unique and rare. You carry an extraordinary level of empathy, compassion, and love that radiates from your very being. This person felt it the moment they encountered you, whether consciously or unconsciously. Even now, regardless of what has happened between you, they still view you as someone almost otherworldly. In their eyes, you don't seem real, almost like an angel walking among humans. I keep hearing their thoughts, as though they're whispering, "Are you real? Are you even a real person?" It's as though your presence has them questioning reality itself. They've placed you on this pedestal in their mind, idealizing you to the point where they see you as unattainable, almost mythical. And yet, here's the twist. Despite this deep admiration, this almost reverent awe they feel toward you, they may have done a complete 180 in your connection. For many of you, this shift would have felt jarring. One moment, they seemed drawn to you like a moth to a flame, captivated by your energy, and then suddenly, they pulled away. They may have cut off communication or gone cold toward you, leaving you confused and wondering, what happened? Here's the thing. It wasn't because you did something wrong. It wasn't because your love or energy was too much in a negative sense. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Your energy was so high vibrational, so authentic, and so deeply aligned with unconditional love that it illuminated all the parts of themselves they weren't ready to face. You didn't just get close to their heart, you got close to their soul. And in doing so, you held up a mirror to them, showing them their truest, rawest self. For someone who is still battling their own shadows, or hasn't yet embarked on the deeper layers of their spiritual journey, that kind of connection can feel overwhelming. It's like stepping into a bright light after being in the dark for so long. It's beautiful, but it's also blinding. This person wasn't ready for that kind of clarity, for the depth of love and truth you brought into their life. So, instead of stepping forward into that light, they pulled away, retreating into the comfort of the shadows they've known for so long. But here's what's important for you to know. Their reaction doesn't diminish the value or impact of your energy. Even if they ran from it, your light touched them. It's planted a seed deep within them, a seed of transformation that will continue to grow in its own time. For now, trust that everything is unfolding as it should. You are a catalyst for change, whether this person acknowledges it or not, and your energy is never wasted. Sometimes, the most profound shifts happen in the spaces where we cannot see. Of course, for some of you listening, this could very well be a platonic situation. However, I'm strongly picking up that for many, if not most of you, this connection was romantic or had a romantic undertone. At the very least, this masculine energy harbored romantic feelings for you, whether or not they ever fully expressed them. Now, only you can truly know whether those feelings were mutual, but I sense that in many cases, there was at least a spark, an undeniable flicker of emotion that passed between you two. But here's where things might feel complicated. You might be struggling to sort out your own feelings about this person. When someone manifests you into their life, their energy creates a powerful pull, and that can make it hard to distinguish what's real. Is this a genuine soul connection, or is the intensity of your feelings simply a response to the magnetic energy they've been unconsciously sending your way? I keep seeing this image of a puppet show, a puppet master skillfully pulling the strings, captivating the audience. And then, all of a sudden, they let go of the strings, leaving everything to fall into chaos. Perhaps that's how you feel, like this person was orchestrating the perfect story, doing and saying all the right things to keep you engaged, only to suddenly let go and leave you wondering what happened. For many of you, I feel this masculine energy might not have even been someone you were initially drawn to, at least not physically or romantically. You might have seen them as intriguing but not overly significant at first. Yet, because their energy was so focused on manifesting you, pulling you into their orbit, you started to feel something. Maybe it began as curiosity, but over time it deepened into something more. And then, just as you started to allow yourself to feel, to open up, to even express some of that emotion, this masculine energy flipped the script. It was as though they dropped the strings of connection they had so carefully built, leaving you feeling unmoored, confused, and perhaps even hurt. This is where it gets tricky because you can sense, deep within your intuition, that something real happened here. Your inner knowing is telling you that this wasn't just a fleeting connection or a random encounter. It feels significant, doesn't it? Your guides are coming through strongly to reassure you that you're not imagining things. Yes, this person still cares about you, even if their actions seem to say otherwise. There was something deeper between you, something genuine. But this connection may have triggered fears or unresolved issues within this masculine energy that caused them to retreat. Their actions, or lack thereof, are not a reflection of your worth, but of their inner conflict. So, if you felt as though you're losing your grip on what's real in this situation, know that you're not crazy. Your intuition is valid. There was a spark here, and it still lingers, even if it feels buried under layers of confusion and uncertainty. If you've shared this experience with others, you may have heard people tell you that this person was just playing games, that they were a player, or that they only cared about something surface level or physical. And while those perspectives might resonate with some of you, it's important to only accept them if they truly feel right for you. Deep down, though, you know there's more to this situation than meets the eye. You possess a strong, intuitive sense, one that allows you to cut through the noise and see things as they truly are. You're not someone who easily deceives yourself. If you truly believed you had been played or manipulated, you would be able to recognize that reality and accept it for what it is. What makes this whole experience so confusing, however, is that on a soul level, you sense that things are not so simple. You feel that there is something much deeper at play here. And no, it's not just your pride that's holding on to this feeling. Yes, of course, pride can be bruised if you were to admit you'd been taken advantage of. But that's not what's keeping you connected to the idea that there was something real between you. It's your intuition, and your intuition is always spot on. You know, deep within yourself, that this connection was more than just a fleeting attraction or a superficial interaction. Something deeper, more complex, was unfolding beneath the surface, and your inner wisdom is urging you to trust that truth. This is exactly why your guides wanted this message to reach you. They want to affirm what you already feel in your heart. The success card has appeared, almost like a reassuring nod from the universe, confirming that you can trust the intuitive insights you've had about this person and the situation. You have the clarity within you to see through any confusion, and you have the strength to follow the guidance your inner self is providing. However, right after this, the No card came through, and it feels incredibly symbolic in this context. It's as if the moment this person had you emotionally within their reach, the moment you started to reciprocate or express your interest in a way that mirrored theirs, they suddenly pulled away. It's almost as though their energy, once a warm yes, turned abruptly to a cold no. And that shift, that sudden change, is exactly what is leaving you in limbo, unsure of what happened or why. But here's the thing. This shift is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. You see, this person was the one who initially manifested you, whether consciously or unconsciously. They energetically or physically pursued you, but the second you started to mirror their feelings and show interest, they recoiled. This is an incredibly common pattern, and it reveals something important. People can only meet you where they are willing to meet themselves. They can only love you as deeply as they love themselves. In other words, their inability to sustain the connection once you began to reciprocate isn't a reflection of you, but of their own limitations. They might have been in a space where they weren't ready to journey as deep as you were, or perhaps they weren't yet capable of facing the emotional depths that this connection was inviting them to explore. This sudden shift from engagement to distance can feel painful and confusing, but it's not a personal rejection. It's more about their own inner world and where they are in their own journey. And this is exactly why your intuition is telling you that something real existed here, even if they couldn't fully show up for it. Your guides are encouraging you to trust your inner knowing, to honor what you feel, and to know that there is more going on beneath the surface than what meets the eye. Trust that the truth will reveal itself, and stay open to the lessons this experience is bringing you. The complexity of this situation doesn't mean that you are wrong to feel what you feel. It simply means there is a deeper layer to explore, and you're being guided toward that understanding. Divine Feminine. That quote you resonate with hits deep, doesn't it? The awakened Divine Feminine serves as a powerful mirror for the masculine, reflecting not just what they wish to see, but more importantly, who they truly are at their core. And when they are not yet ready to confront those truths, when they are not yet ready to face the wounds and shadows that surface, sometimes they will run. But it's not from you, it's from themselves. This dynamic seems to have unfolded in your situation, and it's not an uncommon one. Through your unconditional love, your presence, your energy, you've shown the masculine parts of themselves they were not ready to acknowledge. You've illuminated the areas where they've been unable to fully love themselves, where they've hidden parts of their soul from the light of their own awareness. This is not something they have ever encountered before. Your love is pure, your empathy is boundless, and you give so freely, without expectation. And my goodness, how mesmerizing that must be for them. Even now, despite any space or distance that may have formed between you, this person thinks about you daily. They can't help it. The energy of your connection stirs deep emotions in them, and these emotions are like an internal storm, beautiful, overwhelming, and at times so painful to experience. When they tap into that memory of you, the purity of your love, they are struck by both the beauty of it and the profound sorrow of having pushed it away. There's a heaviness they carry in their heart, a bittersweet ache for having rejected something so pure and real. And yet, they remain silent. Silent in their pain, silent in their confusion, silent because they don't yet know how to meet you at the level your energy is asking them to rise to. Looking deeper into their energy, I pulled the Blossoming Abundance card upright, and it paints a beautiful picture. Through your connection, a seed has been planted within them, a seed that's beginning to take root, even if you can't see the evidence of it on the surface just yet. This seed has been planted in their heart, and while it hasn't fully blossomed, it is already beginning to grow. The impact of your connection with them continues to shift them, even if you can't observe the changes immediately. This connection, in its most beautiful form, is the beginning of a spiritual awakening. Although they may not be ready for the intensity of the awakening that your energy has triggered in them, you have nonetheless set the foundation. You have given them the most precious gift, the gift of spiritual growth and self-awareness. Your love, your presence, your kindness. It was never wasted. Even in those moments where it may have felt like your love was met with resistance or indifference, it was never in vain. What you may not fully realize is that you were working in alignment with a higher purpose. You weren't just interacting with this person in their current state, but you were working in collaboration with their higher self, the version of them that exists in a future timeline, the version of them that is already living out the life they're destined for. Your connection was a bridge, a catalyst for that future version of them to eventually come forward. You planted the seed for their awakening, and in time it will sprout and bloom in ways that you may not even be able to imagine yet. It may not be visible today, but your love, your energy, your authenticity have set the stage for a profound shift in their life. You've sparked a journey that, while it may take time to come to fruition, is already taking root. So, take heart, Divine Feminine. The energy you've invested, your love and your light, was never wasted. Even if you can't see the fruit of it just yet, know that you've contributed to the unfolding of something truly transformative. Your love has planted a seed in their soul, and in due time it will bloom into something magnificent. Trust that your role in this journey is part of a greater, divine plan, one that spans across time and space, and one that will ultimately lead to the growth and awakening that you so beautifully ignited. Divine Feminine, your role in this connection has been truly powerful. You were the one who planted the seed of awakening within this person. Right now, it may seem dormant, hidden beneath layers of resistance or confusion, but know this: when they are finally ready to awaken fully, that seed will take root, grow, and begin to transform them in profound ways. It will happen in divine timing, and when that moment arrives, they will remember you. Your energy will pull them toward you, even from a distance. They will feel your presence spiritually and energetically across the astral realm, even if you haven't spoken or seen each other in a long time. This is the magic of your energy. It plants a seed that takes hold, even when the other person isn't consciously aware of it. They may not be ready for it now, but your light continues to affect them over time, quietly guiding them toward a deeper understanding of themselves. And when the time comes for them to fully awaken, you will be the one they long to reconnect with, the one they remember with a deep sense of knowing, even if it feels like they've drifted far away. Right now, there may be some disconnect between you, and you may feel as though you're moving along a higher timeline, one that feels separate from this person's journey. But don't be surprised if, in the future, their path eventually realigns with yours. You are evolving into a higher version of yourself, and they, too, are on their way toward their own spiritual awakening. You've already done the inner work to reach this higher frequency, and soon they will find themselves doing the same. One thing I sense about this person is that their sacral chakra is extremely blocked. They might feel very rigid and controlled in their life, clinging to a structured routine, work schedule, or lifestyle that leaves little room for emotional expression or spontaneous joy. They're hard on themselves, perhaps too focused on achievement and productivity, and not allowing themselves the freedom to embrace their true feelings or connect with others on a deeper level. But this state of emotional rigidity and control won't be sustainable forever. Divine Feminine, you already know this. You can almost sense past versions of yourself in them. Perhaps at one point, you too were an overachiever, seeking worth and validation through external accomplishments. Maybe you used to believe that success outside of you would fill the void inside. But over time, you learned that the true key to fulfillment lies within. You realized that to manifest the life you desire, you must first align with the energy of what you want to attract and create from the inside out. This is a lesson that this person has yet to learn, and it's foreign to them in a way that triggers both awe and discomfort. Your ability to live from an aligned and authentic place was mesmerizing to them, but at the same time, it was so unfamiliar to their worldview that they instinctively resisted it. The truth is, your way of being challenged their beliefs and the structure they've clung to for so long. However, this rejection is not permanent. This person is not going to stay locked in their rigid state forever. As they continue to grow, they will come to understand the very lessons you embody, the lessons of self-love, inner alignment, and creating from within. They will circle back to you. They will remember the energy you brought to their life. And when they are ready, they will reconnect with the ideas and truths you've shared with them, whether through direct interaction or a spiritual awakening that draws them closer to you. Trust in the power of your energy, Divine Feminine. What you've awakened in them is not something they can forget. It's the seed of transformation, and in time, it will blossom into something beautiful. In the meantime, keep shining your light, continue walking your higher path, and know that your love, your wisdom, and your alignment are doing the work. The seeds you've planted are growing, and in time, they will bear fruit, both for you and for this person who is destined to align with your energy in a much deeper way. The final cards that have come forward are the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups reversed, and they offer a profound reflection of the energetic dynamic between you and this masculine. The Knight of Cups reversed speaks of someone who is running, someone trying desperately to escape the truth of who they are. This is a person with a fragile sense of self, someone unable or unwilling to face the deeper parts of themselves. And this energy, Divine Feminine, is exactly what this masculine is embodying right now. But here's where it gets interesting. When they manifested you into their life, they were essentially stepping into the presence of the High Priestess. You, In your divine essence, embody a vibration that leaves no room for escapism. You reflect truth, and through your energy, they were confronted with parts of themselves they had been avoiding for so long. Your very being, the wisdom, the depth, the clarity you carry, forced them to confront the truths they weren't ready to face. Now, there's something truly significant about eye contact here. I'm picking up on a deep, almost magnetic energy around your gaze. This person, at some point, found it overwhelming to look into your eyes. Initially, your gaze intrigued them. It was like a door to something mysterious and captivating. But over time, it became something else entirely. It became too raw, too revealing. When they looked into your eyes, they saw themselves, perhaps for the first time ever, on a soul-deep level. And it was both moving and uncomfortable. You were mirroring them in a way they didn't know how to handle. It's almost as though your eyes were a window into their soul, and they weren't ready to face what was reflected back at them. This experience was so intense for them that they may have started avoiding eye contact altogether. You may have noticed this shift. At first, they couldn't get enough of your gaze, but suddenly they pulled back, unable to hold your gaze any longer. This wasn't about you, it was about them. They felt deeply seen, perhaps more than they ever have in their life, and it stirred up emotions they weren't ready to deal with. This person is standing at a crossroads, needing to undergo significant emotional and spiritual growth. Right now, they seem to be living in an outdated version of themselves, clinging to a self-image or identity shaped by external influences. Perhaps the expectations of family, society, or even childhood wounds. There's a feeling of them trying to meet someone else's standards, living in a way that is more about fulfilling what others think they should be, rather than discovering and embracing who they truly are at their core. It's almost like a child trying to win the approval of their parents, never fully understanding or accepting their own power. But this, divine feminine, is where the real work lies. This person is in the midst of shedding this outdated version of themselves. They must release the past, release the false narrative they've been carrying, and step into the truth of who they are. This process isn't easy. It's not something that can be rushed. They must learn to embrace themselves on a much deeper level, and this is something they'll need to do on their own. In the meantime, your role is to continue embodying your high priestess energy. You are a beacon of truth and clarity. By being unapologetically yourself, by staying grounded in your wisdom, and by continuing to walk your own path of authenticity, you are allowing them the space to grow. You are planting seeds of awakening in them, even if you can't see the immediate results. Your presence has stirred something within them, something that cannot be unseen. Even if they are running from it now, there will come a time when they will have no choice but to face the truth of who they are. Stay connected to your inner knowing, divine feminine. You are guiding them, even from a distance, and your energy is shifting their world in ways you may never fully understand. This is the sacred dance of awakening. Sometimes it's a slow burn, and sometimes it's an intense burst of light. Trust that this person's journey is unfolding in its own time, and when they're ready, they will return to you, transformed and ready to embrace the truth that you've always known. Click the Join button to explore the membership options and see what exciting benefits await you. By joining, you'll get exclusive perks, behind-the-scenes content, and special access to our community. It's a fantastic way to support the channel and get even more out of your experience with us.